Welcome everybody to day 38. It's been a while, but I'm back to active building and recording a number of videos. In fact, very soon I'll be releasing videos soon, recorded, not live streams. But today I want to try to achieve integrating inline Flutter payments. I learned that I was actually doing things the hard way. It's actually much easier than I thought. And since my aim is to have the MVP out, there are things I should have actually read first. But I'm learning, and if any of you has advice, please reach out. The other payment gateway that I wanted to integrate sometime back, they haven't yet got back to me. Fair enough. So I want to go with this. Okay. I discovered this an easier way I can implement payments, which is something I want to do. So if you look at this, there's a way you can actually easily work with Flutterwave. Okay. They what they call the Flutterwave Inline. Okay, which is very, very easy to work with. They have Flutterwave Inline, Flutterwave Standard, and then HTML Checkout. And ideally, it helps you to easily collect payments via card, bank, or other supported methods. Right now, I might want to maybe focus on card, but let's see how to do it. But what is good is that these options come with Flutterwave's built-in UI, branding, and user experience. And of course, some things can be changed. And if there is a need for full control, then Flutterwave also provides APIs that allow you to collect customer payment information using your own user interface. But let's try out this inline, okay? So I'll click on inline and let's see what they say. So they say Flutterwave inline is the easiest way to receive payments on your website, okay? And if it's the easiest, well, I need to see it hopefully working. They're saying simply import our lightweight JavaScript library on your checkout page and call the Flutterwave checkout function when your customer clicks the payment button. Then they say we'll handle the payment process and notify you once it's complete. I mean, this is exactly what I want, okay? Just for an MVP. In case maybe requirements change, this can maybe be improved. But for now, I simply want everything to be, wow, I just discovered I had not turned on my camera, but I think it should be now sorted. So let's go ahead and see how this works. So just to read again, make sure I've not missed out anything. They're saying Flutterwave Inline is the easiest way to receive payments on your website. Simply import our lightweight JavaScript library on your checkout page and call the Flutterwave checkout function when your customer clicks the payment button. We'll handle the payment process and notify you once it's complete. So there's an example here. Let's see. Okay. So what I like about is that they're going to handle the process. They notify us when it's complete. For now, I don't want to handle that complex part. So let me maybe zoom in to see this button. If I click pay now, okay. So you see, maybe I can zoom out a little bit. Then when I get back this other side, they're saying try it out. They're saying you can try out a payment above. Use the card number. So I'll copy this card number, copy it, come here, paste the card number. Then they're saying with CVV 828, come here, paste the CVV 828, come here, what else? Expiry 0932. So I can come here and say 0932 and hit the button. So says thanks for your payment. Your transaction was completed successfully. This is awesome. This is all I need. Okay. So you're saying, let's take a closer look at the things this code does. It's saying first you include Flutterwave inline library with a script tag. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Where is the code? Here's the code. So I can start some of these. I set the front end. I can cd into front end and nvm use 20, node version 20. It's nvm rather, use 20. Then I can do npm run dev. Okay, so if I check localhost, what the backend needs to run for anything to be successful. So let me start the backend too. cd into backend. Then I can do docker compose app. Yeah, so for now, this is what we have. And I can probably just create another terminal in case I want to do certain specific tasks concerning the terminal, okay? So that I don't have to interrupt either the backend or the front end. But again, I've realized if you look at the backend, you see constant logging, okay? I forgot to deal with that. It is something I was supposed to deal with. I think having a lot to do and work kind of like distracted me. But here I am. I'm back to real doing serious stuff. So now where is this page? We need to go to the browser and just do a few things. I'm not sure if I remember the password of this user, but if we maybe try to search for a place, okay, to New York, I kept remembering that there are a number of things that need to be improved, but because of time, I failed to actually add them to this project. So I'll add that date. And when I start doing this is when I remember that the number of bugs that actually need to be solved. Okay. So if you say confirm and complete, okay. At some point, we need to be able to enter the card information, okay? Not the card information, but to do the actual payment. And if I go to, I can't go to previous, can I go to previous page? Okay, we have a bug, okay, that needs to be fixed. That would be fixed, of course. But I'm thinking about if you select a flight, confirming and before you confirming and continue, maybe you should do some payment. Okay, so just to test the payment, okay, I can put a button around here. I'll fix the other things later, because if I say confirm and continue, I need to actually have proper information, valid data to insert here. I think in my free time I am going to create sample data that I can always enter here so that I can pass this step. Okay, but for now I can't. Okay, of course I can come to this page, but you're seeing it's not like valid. You get, and of course I can go ahead to say confirm booking, where you can see we get a message could not validate credentials. Why? Because in the previous step we did not add the real payment information. Okay, so I'll just do this. Okay, of course it will fail, but I want us to have a button, okay, to help us do payment. So I am going to go to the confirm booking page and see if I can maybe bypass that or try out something else. So front end source, what do I need? App booking. Okay, this should be the page. Then all I need to look is a handler handling this confirm booking. So if I minimize this a little bit, sometimes building a project when you're actually working is not easy. You have a lot of things to do and solve. Minimize this, minimize that. So it should be this handle submit. Okay. So instead of trying to to send maybe information somewhere, I can simply copy this, okay, and maybe comment out this other part. I don't want to do any API work right now. Maybe up to right there, okay. Then immediately I can, yes, okay, but we need, of course, the booking result.id. For now, I'll just call it 1, okay. I'll just say manually hard code it to be 1. We shall refactor this. Okay, I see we have a number of errors, but I can simply comment this out, keep it simple. That's done. Now, okay, this should be okay. So if I click confirm, okay, you see, wow, I shouldn't have gone to printing. So if I click confirm, so you see it says booking confirmed, okay? But on top of booking confirmed, we need payment to happen, okay? And of course, this success page right now has dummy data. And to prove it to you, if you've gone ahead and studied it, you'll see we have this interface, but we have mocking data, okay? So we need to have Flutterwave actually here, okay? So all these things like view ticket status, print confirmation, download PDF, okay? They shouldn't actually appear, okay? We need payment, okay? So we need to put a message that's saying maybe make payment in order to receive your ticket. So what I can do is simply, or probably on the booking success, okay? Booking success page. So when the age of AI, so I'll use AI to, I'm under prompt. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Copilot. Why is Copilot hidden? Can't seem to find. Wait, what's happening? This is something I did a few. View appearance. Is it among these Python Prisma containers? This is weird. Did I remove Copilot? I don't think I would have removed it because I was using it a few minutes ago in another project. So it would be like quite weird for it to just disappear. Am I tired or something? Someone help me. I'm getting tired. So let me see. Where is it? Looks like my ancestors want me to write code. No problem. We shall write code the hard way. So let me see. One more try before I obey the ancestors forcing me to write code. How can such a thing disappear? Is it even possible? Okay. All right. It's okay. Let's make peace with it. So the first step, like you saw up here, is I'll cancel this. We already tested it. Is to include the Flutterwave inline library script tag. So I'll copy it. Okay. Then on our page, okay, I want to put another button, okay, which saying pay to receive tickets, okay. Probably it should be up here, okay. So I'll expand this, okay, minimize this, minimize this, minimize this. So this is the only page that we have in the project which has mocking data still, okay. We're supposed to be picking data from the previous step, okay. But remember, in our previous step, we shall only allow you to say next, okay, after you've entered here valid data, okay, for all the travelers and their documents which are required. But for now, because I want to just have payment integrated at least a basic level, I'm going to bypass it. Okay, so I'll just say click confirm booking and then you confirm. Okay, but now when you come to this confirmation, we need the button to tell you to pay to receive the money. Okay, so I was looking for the AI chat boxes because I wanted to tell AI to look at this page. Okay, and add a button saying pay in order to receive ticket. Okay, make payment in order to receive ticket. Actually, even if the chat box is hidden, okay, I'm not still out of tools. I remembered I have something called Gemini. Okay, the Gemini CLI can still be used, and we can achieve our goals using Gemini. So here's what I'm going to do. So you see Gemini, I'm going to say in, okay, at. So we need to pick the directory. I'll say in at frontend / app, okay, / let me expand this so that you can see / booking, then success. Okay, add a button for the user to pay in order to receive the ticket. Okay, why I like sometimes using Copilot is because with Copilot, it is easier to specify the context. Okay, it is easier to specify the context. I find it harder to specify the context here, probably because I've not had enough experience using what is it called? Using this tool, Gemini. Okay, CLI tools. But let's see how it performs. If it can add, no problem. Okay, so let's see how fast it can do that. Excuse me. But I've really loved this project. I've really learned so many things and revised so many things. I've captured a number of things just by doing this project during my free time. So it looks like it's checking, but so let's go to the Flutterwave documentation, okay, and go through it. So the first step is including this, okay. I've copied it and I'm ready. Then next thing is the payment button. This is the button I've told the AI to add, okay. So it says this is the button the customer clicks after they have received their order and are ready to pay you. You'll attach an on-click event handler to this button and call the make payment function. Okay, so this is the button we want AI to add. Okay, then you shall add this script, okay, to it. So this script will add Flutterwave to us. Okay, then when we click the button, okay, the button will have an on-click handler. Okay, make payment. In that make payment function is when we call the Flutterwave checkout, just like you see here. They have make payment. Okay, so on click, call make payment, and make payment calls the Flutterwave checkout. Okay, which has a number of values like the public key, the reference, the amount, the currency, payment options, the redirect URL. Okay, and so many things. Actually, for me, instead of using a redirect URL, I am going to use what is called a callback function. Okay, so let's and actually explain each of them down here. Okay, let's see this tool down. Looks like it's still doing its thing. Okay, but let's go through these what I call them, the parameters. Okay, to Flutter checkout function. So they say let's take a closer look at the parameters we passed when calling Flutterwave checkout. They're saying txref is a unique transaction reference you should generate for each transaction. Amount, this is the amount the customer is to pay. They're saying in this case, we are hard coding it, but you could also dynamically get it from your server or client side JavaScript. Of course, we first should get it from our server. Then they're saying this the currency in the amount. You guessed mine is going to be USD. Then the customer information. And they're saying the email field is required. And we can also pass things like a name and a phone number. Of course, for us, we have a name already, okay, from the form on the previous page, okay. So we shall use it. Then there is the public key. They're saying this is your public API key. Here's how to get it. We shall click on this link to get the public API key. They're saying Meta holds extra details. Let me expand this so that you see better. Then they have the redirect URL, which is optional. Okay, they're saying this is the URL will redirect to on your site after the payment is done. Okay. They're saying alternatively, you can also specify a callback function. Okay. And that's what I'll go with. Then customization, they're saying this allows you to customize the look and feel of the payment model. You can set a logo, the store name to be displayed, and a description for the payment. Okay, we shall do this later. Payment options, so this allows you to specify what the payment methods you want to allow. Okay. They say public key, saying don't forget this is client side code. So it uses your public key, not your secret key. Okay. Then when we continue, they say we also recommend generating the transaction reference TXRef on the server. You can compare it with previous transactions to be sure there are no requests. So what we can do before someone in the process of confirming your booking, okay? Once you confirm your booking and you come to this page, we should have your transaction reference already generated from the backend. That is something we can do so that we can use it to compare against previous transactions to make sure there are no duplicates. Okay, they're saying the call to Flutterwave checkout returns a JavaScript object with a close method that can be used to close the model, which can be useful if you're using callbacks instead of redirects. So they're saying redirects and callbacks. They're saying after calling the Flutterwave checkout function, the payment is done, you can do one of the following. Option 1, redirect. So they're saying if you specify a redirect URL when calling Flutterwave checkout, like in our example above, will redirect the customer to the URL when the payment is made. We'll append your transaction reference, our transaction ID and status to the URL like this. Okay. So they append query parameters. Okay. So they're saying on your server, you should handle the redirect and always verify the final state of the transaction. Okay. So say transaction verification must be server side. This is wise. Okay. Say they say transaction verification should always be done on the server as it makes use of your secret key, which should never be exposed publicly. Okay. So in the previous video, I told you to pick your secret key. So make sure you do that. Then when we continue, they're saying alternatively, you can specify a callback instead. In this case, you'll specify a JavaScript function that will call when the payment is made, passing in the object. So I'm going to use a callback, okay? So that I'm going to choose to do, okay? And yeah, so it's a pretty interesting thing, okay? Let's see how far we've gone with this. I don't see any. Looks like our guy has been pretty slow. Says apply this change. Okay, just say yes. So I've accepted the change to be applied. Let's continue reading. So where are we? Alternatively, you can specify a callback instead. In this case, you'll specify a JavaScript function that will call when the payment is made. In other words, when the payment has been successful, they either call the redirect URL with the number of arguments, like the transaction ID and the status, or simply use the callback. They give us an output in the callback, okay? And they pass in a payment object, which looks like this. The amount which has been paid, the currency, the customer information, okay? The reference, the status, another reference, and then the transaction ID, okay? Then they're saying note, the callback will be called after the payment is completed, but while the model is still open. You can combine the callback with onClose handler for a better experience. So, meaning it is only completed when the model is open. If you close the model, it's not completed. So if there's an onClose handler, we can make sure that we listen for this onClose handler to be, can I say, to be, when you try to close before the transaction is complete, okay, we can prevent it. And we wait for it to either be successful or a failure. Then you're saying, here is an example that uses a callback and onClose function. Okay, they're saying the callback function sends a verification request to the backend in the background. Okay, which is good. They're saying then when the customer closes the model, okay, the onClose displays a verifying message if the background request is not complete, or a thank you message if the verification was successful. Yeah, that is good. So in case we're not done in the background, we should tell the user that we are still verifying. Okay. So they're saying if verification fails, the customer will be asked to try again or contact support. So this is the example. Let's open it. I want to close this. Okay. So click pay now. Let us see. Okay. The implementation is not correct. It has a bug. Actually, I remember seeing it. But we get the point. Let's continue. Okay. Saying always verify your transactions. You should always verify on your server afterwards, even if you used a callback. Yeah, that's correct. They think the redirect URL has higher precedence than the callback. So if you specify both, we'll use the redirect. Now you're saying you can also use the callback option to manually close the model with the model's close method. They're saying this won't trigger the onClose handler. Okay, so you can use the callback option to manually close the model with the model's close. So for example, you see here they say on payment, make payment, okay? They have the Flutterwave checkout function, okay? Then they have the callback, okay? So after they are verified, okay? They are verified the transaction, then they call model.close. Now they're asking, they have a question for us here. What if the payment fails? Saying if the payment fails, for instance, due to insufficient funds, you don't need to do anything. We'll keep the payment page open so the customer can try again until the payment succeeds or they choose to cancel. And they're saying if you have webhooks enabled, we'll send you a notification for each failed payment attempt. And they're saying this is useful in case you want to later reach out to customers. See our webhooks guide. Okay, later we shall look at webhooks, but for the beginning, we don't need webhooks. So what is interesting is that if the payment attempt fails, maybe like for example, due to insufficient funds, as on our end, we don't need to do anything. Okay, Flutterwave will keep the page open so the customer can try again until the payment succeeds or they choose to cancel. Okay, they're saying if the customer closes the model, you can handle this event using the onClose option described in the next section. So let us see before we continue. Are you seeing this? We have a pay to get ticket button. Okay. So we are going to deal with it. Of course, things like view ticket status, print confirmation, download PDF, okay, will only be available after you have paid. Guys, I want you to follow closely, okay? I just prompted AI to just add this button, okay? Temporarily, okay? For now. So these ones are going to be available only when you have paid. Don't forget that. Okay, so as we do that, as that happens, I want to copy something and give to the AI to add to our project. So I'll copy this, okay? Then do we need to review? Okay. That's why I like cursor. And not cursor, the copilot thing is hiding from me. You can view the changes, but it's easy to see. I think this green shows what has been changed. Okay. We see we have our actions, okay, which is this. Let me explain to you, which is this section, okay? This small div with a card, okay? Having that nice border. It has, okay, it has this H1 saying actions, okay? This one. Then it has, this is the first, but I think pay to get ticket, okay? It is this pay, this whole thing, okay? Of course, it has added this, but I am going to eliminate this, okay? Then we have all this, okay? These are view ticket status, print confirmation are down here. See, view ticket status, print confirmation, all are down here. But those are things I'm going to get rid of, like I've told you, okay? They should only appear after you have paid. But this is what I want to do, okay? I'm going to tell Gemini to use this project, okay? Add the script, that one, so that it can be used in this project, okay? So hit enter, we'll leave it to do its thing as we go to documentation. So I'll continue. And actually, do you know that if you understand this, you can implement it the way you want in your project, okay? You can do it in your project. That's why sometimes I just prefer going through the documentation so that even when you're also doing your own project, okay, you can implement it and do things however you want. Now, if I move to which part? I think this is where we ended. So handling canceled payments. They're saying if the customer closes the payment, let me select this and read it again. If the customer closes the payment model before making payment or clicks cancel payment, we'll cancel the payment session, hide the model, and you won't be notified. That is why you see I like this Flutterwave inline, okay? I don't want to go through the hassle of canceling the payment session and doing that. I want it to be I want them to handle the payment for me, okay? Handle the payment for me, okay? If the payment is successful, tell me. If the first payment has failed, okay, okay? So when it is successful, all I need to know, okay, is for them to give me the transaction reference, go back to my backend, verify that the payment was successful. After that, if the payment was successful, okay, I verified. On verification, I tell the customer, you know what? Give us a short moment. I'm going to give you what? Your ticket. And then there I can always what? Run a background job. Okay. That always checks maybe the people who have paid, okay, to send them tickets to their email or to this very platform, okay? Or even admins can manually upload the emails. So it's going to be interesting. So let's continue saying you can specify an on-close function. Okay. We'll call this function when the payment is cancelled with a single Boolean argument that's true if the payment was not completed. So they call with a Boolean. So it can be true or false. So true if it was not completed. Payment model. Saying if a customer closes the payment model while the payment is processing, the payment will be marked as cancelled, but the payment session won't be aborted. So they're saying if the transaction ends up succeeding later, webhooks, customer notifications, and the like will be triggered. So we shall learn about webhooks soon. Then I'll continue and say an example of when you might want to use this is to send such events to your analytics service or reach out to customers who didn't complete their orders. So if you didn't complete your orders, yeah, webhooks can help you. But in my case, I want to make sure I prevent you from pressing the on clause. Okay. So when a transaction is going on, okay, whether that transaction is going to be successful or a failure, I'll prevent the user from closing the model. When it is successful, okay, or when it has failed. Now that you have the liberty to close. So they have here an example, okay? See on close, shows whether it is complete or not, okay? So that's the on close handler that is given to us, okay? What is the statement I'm looking for? So see, it says a single Boolean argument that's true if the payment was not completed. So if it is true, okay, I can prevent you from closing it. So what else? Handling payments and retries, okay, and timeout on checkout, okay. So this is something else that we can study, okay. So let me first go back here and see. Okay, it says it's waiting for user confirmation, okay. So I think it has imported script from next script, okay, and you see the script has been added here for us, okay. So I can now confirm, okay. I can press 1 to confirm. I don't know why Gemini keeps flickering like that, okay. I wish I can just find of opening my Copilot, okay. I would get away from this, but it's kind of it keeps flickering. It's crazy, okay. But let's continue, okay. So handling payment retries. Guys, in case you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask. In case you've understood this better, again, don't hesitate to help me out. Now, let's go ahead. The saying Flutterwave allows you to configure retries and timeout on checkout to further improve your customers' experience. Timeouts help you limit the completion time for each payment. They're saying once the payment period is completed, the payment window is closed. I want to read this again. Once the payment period is completed, the payment window is closed and the user is redirected to the specified URL. Okay, at redirect_URL. They're saying uncompleted transactions are cancelled and marked as failed. Okay, good. The timeout can be set to a max value of 1440. Okay, and again, guys, don't cram this. Okay, just try to understand. As you build, you can check out any section. Okay, if you want to handle maybe a retry, come to this section. If you want to handle maybe on close, come and check. Okay, don't try to cram. You'll burn out your head. By setting the max retry, the user is prevented from attempting transactions unnecessary at checkout. So they're saying when making a payment, the transaction would be cancelled and marked as failed if the user attempts to reach max retry. Now, they're saying using these configurations can help you improve security on checkout by limiting malicious users' payment attempts. Then they say, for example, if timeout and retry for a transaction are set to 10 minutes and 5 attempts respectively, the transaction fails automatically if the user makes more than 5 attempts or spends longer than 10 minutes to complete the transaction. This is good, okay? And I guess this code shows it. You see, session duration is 10 minutes, meaning you should spend 10 minutes on this session. Then they're saying the max retry attempt is 5. So you can either try 5 times or spend 10 minutes. So if I spend 10 minutes, if I try 5 times within 2 minutes, I'm failed. Okay. If I spend 10 minutes, still I'm failed. Okay. So they say framework integrations. They're saying if you're using a frontend JS framework, we got custom integrations to ensure the payment flow plays nice with your framework. Check out our frontend libraries, okay, to see what's available. Then we have the area of webhooks, but I want to talk about webhooks as a separate topic, okay? So they're saying if you have set up webhooks, if you have set up webhook notifications for your account, we'll send you a webhook when the payment is completed, as well as for each failed payment attempt. Here's what the webhook payload looks like. Okay. This is the payload. But okay, they say next steps. Okay, there are other ways of doing, but I don't want to do this. Okay, but if you want to control it by yourself, look at Flutterwave standard. Okay, it allows you to control the payment flow from your server. Okay, but I don't want to do this. Okay, for the MVP, I won't allow them to handle the payment and simply tell me that the payment is successful or a failure. I'll attach a reference. Okay, and this reference, which is a transaction reference, will be generated from the backend, okay, and sent to the client. Then the client can give it to Flutterwave, okay, which Flutterwave will send back to me so I can use it for verification. And I've been thinking about how to make this transaction reference unique. What I can do, since Amadeus has unique IDs for flight orders, okay, I can combine the flight order ID combined with the current timestamp and time zone probably combined with the user ID. Okay. So user IDs are unique. Okay. In fact, user ID plus current timestamp should be enough to create a unique transaction reference. Okay. Because for at any time someone clicks book, okay, or maybe pay, it will be a unique ID generated. Okay. Because your ID is different and the time you're clicking that button is different. Okay. So yeah, I think I can do that. Plus, okay, let us say your ID, your user ID, which is unique, current timestamp plus a random maybe string. Okay, we can generate a random string using Python. Now, what do I have? I'm seeing the page refreshing. What's happening? Okay, our thing was added, so we now need to move on. Okay. Let me see. When you see a JavaScript page refreshing like this, you know there's something wrong. Trust me. So you're saying framework integrations. Let us see. Okay. I came here and I was disappointed. Maybe I didn't see well, but I want to show you so you see for yourselves. Okay. So I come here. You know what? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to see some React or Next.js. So I'm like, mobile, there's iOS. Okay. Java. Okay. Backend, the Java SDK, iOS SDK. Then here you have the Node.js SDK, PHP SDK, React SDK, React Native SDK, Vue, okay, Shopify, Laravel, WooCommerce, WordPress. Okay, it's like I didn't see React earlier. Okay, it's interesting that they have it. Okay, I didn't think they had it, like for real. I think maybe I was tired because I was skimming through this page yesterday. I came to this page. I'm like, how can you not have a React SDK? It was like odd to me. In fact, in my mind, I was like, why is there not a Next.js SDK? It was too odd and I was kind of like disappointed. But seeing React is better. I think my mind was just tired. But then I seen this published 2 years ago. Guys, is this safe? Maybe it is too stable. I'm seeing the weekly downloads. Okay, 4,000 weekly downloads. Last published 2 years ago. The React SDK helps you create seamless payment experiences in your React mobile or web app. By connecting to our model, you can start collecting payment in no type. Available features, collections, cards, account, mobile money, recurring payments. SDK, what do you guys think? Should I use the SDK or continue with the script? So you see that you install, okay? After install, you say use Flutterwave to any component in your application to pass your config, okay? So you have the public key, the amount, customizations, the logo, use config. Okay. So, okay, you create the configuration, okay? Then you say use config. Then after that, the thing add Flutterwave to your project as a component or React hook. So as a component, this is what happens, okay? We have the configuration that we've just studied about from the documentation. Then, okay, they get the config, put some text, okay? We have the callback, okay? Then here is it, okay? Then let me see, so they say as a component or direct in your code or making recurring payments. So hooks, they have a hook. or it can be recurring payment. Okay, I'm now thinking, what do I do? I think let's go with this. Okay, let's go with this. I'm going to install. Okay, I'm going to install. So what I'll do, I want to look for that script. It is in layout. Okay, layout. Minimize this. Okay, so remove this script tag. Okay, I guess you guys who know React were screaming to me. I'm like, bro, who uses a script tag in a node project? Okay, so I'll cancel this Gemini thing. I don't know if any of you knows why it flickers. Okay, maybe cd into frontend, then paste npm install React Flutterwave v3. Just doing a time check. If I can have this. Oh, what's happening? Saying unable to resolve dependency tree. Wow. Okay. No problem. Okay. I will go with the script for now. Okay. Let's clear this. I can fix this tomorrow. I don't have to spend more time just debugging. Okay. Some of you have witnessed me in some live streams spending hours just debugging. It's so annoying. So Control Z. Thank God for Control Z. Who invented it? I appreciate the Control Z. There's that funny meme on the internet that the most important keys for a developer is Control C, Control V. Just a moment, let me get back. I don't know if you think it's true. Control C, Control V. I can add Control C. With the network for us keyboard, there's only those 3 buttons. Maybe with Enter, probably space. So let's continue. Jokes aside. Oh my god! If I could just get that window. Like what happened for me to lose? If I zoom out a little bit, will I be able to get my tools? Like, how could I lose the awesome copilot? Let me try one more time, okay? Because I want to save some time. Because if I can just give it the code, okay? Give it the code and it integrates for us so that we see something. So you see how I'm becoming dependent on what is it called? On AI. I'm now getting used to actually, okay, I think it was disabled. So I'll enable. I was getting used to, but I'm getting used to prompting AI to generate code, then I review it, then writing it line by line. It's crazy. It has now become a habit that even now writing it manually is becoming, like, can I call it a taboo? Okay. All right. Now we're back in business. Turns out I had to just simply come here and enable the extension. I don't remember why I disabled it. Oh, I think I do remember. I must have been teaching some people and then I disabled it. So guys, if you've enjoyed this learning experience, you can share this video and show support by liking it. Very soon I'm going to start releasing videos. Okay, I have a plan to release a crash course for FastAPI. I want to start releasing series on Docker, talk about FastAPI with GraphQL, FastAPI, WebRTC if possible, FastAPI, WebSockets, FastAPI, several things. Okay, FastAPI, even with like creating a simple, like a functional web app with FastAPI. Okay, no JavaScript, simply your app being able to process information. Okay, and doing all the CRUD operations. So let's go ahead. I'll come here. Okay, I want to add some context for it. even without it, I can simply say, what's that button called? It's called pay to get ticket. Okay. So here I can simply come and get the code. Where is it? Where's the code? Where's the code? Where's the code? So I'll copy this so that I just feed it. Okay. I think this is it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. Come here and say, what's the other button again? Pay to get ticket. Okay. Make, add an on-click handler to the pay to get ticket button to use the following. So the question is, it would have been faster for me to even do it. Okay. Because if you come to, where's that button? Control F, pay to get, I think it's on a different page. It's on success. Okay. What happened? Have I lost? Okay, here it is. Okay. Pay to get ticket. Do on click and, oh my God, it's crazy. So why isn't this guy here running? Okay, it has made some changes. Something is wrong. Okay. This thing should like, what is it called? It should like show some output here, but it hasn't. Okay. But anyway, it has made the changes. Okay. I need to research on how to use those outdated packages because I can't install it using npm. Then I'm seeing it here saying script because document.create script. Script.source is that. Okay, let's see. Let me reduce this. Time to review code. Okay, time to review the code. So in the first page, we get React use effect hook has been imported. Then inside we have the use effect hook, of course, here. We have a script tag which has been created. The source attribute has been given, has been added, has this value, okay, of the script that we got from here. What's the script? Script is this one here, okay. Output is correct. After that, we have a script with async that's equals to true, so it's asynchronous. Then there's a document.head.append script, so it has been given to the appended to the head, okay. For those of you who don't know what the head is, just to summarize this for you, if I inspect, open the head, so this is the head, okay. If I open the head, you should see a script somewhere. If I can easily identify it. But you get the idea. It is appended to this head tag, okay? Even though it is hard to see it. If you see it before me, please let me know. But many of these are for static files, okay? But there we are. It is added to that head. Then a cleanup action is done to remove it, okay? Hoping that is correct, but we shall find out soon. Then we have the make payment function, okay? Each text is the type of window is undefined, okay? Then there's a public key, okay? There's the transaction booking reference. Like I've told you, this one is going to come from our server, okay? The amount, okay, these are simply all the fields that we studied about, okay? So this, what we're studying about, where is it? These, okay? The parameters to this Flutterwave checkout function. Then after that, it has made some sensible changes, like the title to Airbound Ventures, which is okay, payment for flight booking, shows the PNR, and actually you can see here that it has changed the details. Okay, the email booking.contact.email. This is okay, even if the booking data is mock data, but this is good to do. Okay, because that's ideally how it's supposed to be. All these are mocked. These are all mock data which I'm going to delete sooner or later. So if I click and step through, see, on click this time they're saying make payment instead of the URL. Okay, so just step through. Okay, can they skip? That's okay. We'll find out. There seems to be something wrong. What are these two issues? It says call stack failed to fetch. What have you failed to fetch? Can't tell. Maybe it's complaining about what we have here. Okay, this script. Let's remove it. Okay, let me remove it. I need to study more about React actually and Next.js and how to handle these scripts. So let's see. Is it even running? We might be here when it stopped running and it crashed. So you see, it says missing a source map. Let me break that and recompile. I mean, rerun it or recompiling whatever. So you see, it should recompile that page. So if I come here and I refresh the page, okay, you see that constant loading and spinning is not there anymore. So if I click pay to get ticket, I think at least we get something, okay? It says invalid parameter, kindly terminate this session and reconfirm, okay? The public key was invalid, okay? So I'll say, okay, it was cancelled. So let's go to the pub key, okay, and see if it's something we can change for now. Reduce this. So wait, I want to read this message again. So you see, if I click pay to get ticket, it says invalid parameter PBF pub key. PBF. Is there anything called PBF? Which parameter have I sent called PBF? What is referring to this as a wrong value? If we use theirs, can it work? I think it should be the same. Okay, should be the same. Or it requires us, maybe it requires us to generate one. Okay, so you see, it keeps failing. Looks like you can change the language. Okay, let's do this. Let me close this. Go back to this page. There's a link that showed us where to get the public key. I got the secret key, but of course, like you say, they say you cannot use the secret key. Okay. So if I click here's how to get it. Say go to your Flutterwave account. Now, this is where sometimes my streams fail. Okay. When I forget to, what is it called? When I forget to get keys early, okay, and then forget passwords, like now this, okay, I never put it in my password manager. I would have to reset to get the password, the email. Let me try to see if I remember it. Okay, to get this I'll need to reset. Some of this resetting needs you to open certain emails. It's a tool I have, but it would reveal many secrets. I think I'll do it after. Let me see. I have to reset password. If it works, wow. I knew I made a mistake. I forgot the password. I'll need to reset. Okay. When I reset, I'll get the actual correct key. Okay. So that's the key I will supply. Okay. To the section, the code. Okay. That you saw, and then I should be able to. Why is this thing telling me to save password, which has not been saved? Okay. So I'll be able to put here the right key. Okay. and that should happen. So if I move on, I'm missing things like instead of redirect URL, okay. Okay, I mean leave a redirect URL because either way they're going to append the transaction reference and the status to it. Okay, so on that page I can pick the transaction status and the reference from the URL, use that transaction reference, send it to the backend. The server confirms whether the payment was successful using the Flutterwave secret key. When that is successful, then okay, I can now send back a response to the front end saying it is successful. Okay, just to give you clarification, Flutterwave will add 2 query parameters to this. Okay, and using those 2 query parameters, I can know whether the transaction was successful or not. The query parameters, so let me show you something like this. It will be question mark, transaction, okay, reference equals to some value. Okay, like that. Let me expand this. Okay, and status, okay, I need an ampersand, and status equals to also maybe success or something. Okay, so if it is success, okay, excuse me, if it is success, I use this transaction reference, send it to the backend, okay, verify if the transaction reference exists, okay, verify the transaction, okay, and then tell the user everything is okay. Your ticket is going to be issued for you and sent to your email and to the app. Otherwise, if things are bad, I don't do this. Okay. Instead, what I do, I simply tell you things have failed. Okay. So I was thinking about using a callback, but it's okay. Let me just use a callback URL. Okay. So I do not want to share. Okay. Myself getting the public key because it's going to make me have to reveal certain passwords, open certain password manager, which I don't want to do. Okay. But I hope you've understood what is supposed to be done. Okay. And you should be able to implement this just by being active with me today. Okay. So why it is failing because of this public key. Okay. So maybe let me try to do it. Can I hide my screen right now? I didn't set up that in my streaming software. It's going to give me some kind of problem. Oh my God. I should have done this earlier. Okay. My bad. But I am going to fix it. Okay. So that you can. And actually, another point is that this public key, I'll change it so that it comes from the secrets. Okay. Just come from your secret file. So make sure you also do it. Okay. So let me see what is. Yeah. So that is it. I'm going to try to clean up. Okay. Because I know because of work, sometimes it's hard for me to have regular streams like I used to have. So I'm going to remove all this mock data from here. Okay. All these result params have to be removed. Okay. Then I'll put here the right key, make a request to the backend, like I've told you when things are okay on this page. Okay. Booking payment success. And yeah, I think that will be it. Okay. So I want to do those cleanups, fix them. Then I think I'll explain them to you in the next stream. Okay. And also there's a few things that we also need to do which are not complete. Okay. And yeah, let's try to get it. I don't want to go beyond an hour. Okay. Trying to get done with this. I'm already very tired after a long day. So thank you for building and learning with me. I hope by going through the documentation and talking about several things you've learned one thing or two. Okay. And if you have anything that you want to teach me or share with us, please share it in the comment section. Thank you for watching. See you in the next stream.